All right, let's talk about this one here. Who is this person? Let me see. BBN's doing. I don't know this person. Well, we don't watch BBN over here, so if they're not like the most popular, I won't know them. She says, why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person can't work. Why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person can't work. Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about about this here before. Okay. It's very the way the sentence is structured is very similar to, except that there's no never or always. She just said can't work. It sounds more like an opinion. Never is not exactly an opinion. That's somebody making an authoritative, like, that's the fact, take it or leave it, like, you know. But can't work still sound closer to an opinion, but even at that, you know, it still sounds absolute. The chances that it will work is highly truncated, right? I agree with that, right? Can it work? Yes, it can work. If you're completely disconnected from the fact that this can be a problem, I would say don't do it. Okay? If you're like, it's just love, it's just love, we love each other, that's all that matters, I was like, no, you shouldn't do it. If that person is much more educated than you, if they're in a completely different social class, somebody says social classes, so that's what we should be talking about. Is that good or bad? I was like, I don't care. But it's real. Social class is a real thing. If you step out of your social class, okay, social economy, religious, racial, just about 7 or more different dimensions, that when you cross these lines, it's not an absolute that it won't work, but you just increase the chances that it won't work, especially when you're completely unaware of what we're talking about. When you think, oh, love should just conquer all, like, no, you don't understand. Of course love will conquer all. The problem is that we used to have love right? When these things start to get tested, we used to have love, you know. So I'm looking at that statement already. I halfway agree with it. I would say, why a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person is unlikely to work. Okay, chances, probabilities, right? There's the difference between probability and possibilities, right? Is there a possibility that it will work? Yes. Is there a possibility that it won't work? Yes. Okay, so if those two things are true, then the only thing we can talk about is probabilities. Okay. All right. Now, I don't have the numbers, but I do think that if one person is educated and the other person is not educated, everything else being equal, the chances that it won't work has increased, just like that. I agree with that 100%. Let's see what they said in completion. She says a relationship between an educated person and an uneducated person cannot work. Education shapes your reasoning. She put it so nicely, right? It does. She didn't say you're better because you're educated. It shapes your reasoning. I agree. Communication skills, I agree too. But these days, I have funny feelings about that because I see way too many educated people that that are extremely terrible when it comes to communication skills, and I know uneducated people that are better at communication than them. Okay, so that second one, reasoning. Okay, she's correct because she didn't say they're better. She said it will shape it. Okay, it will shape reasoning. It will shape your method of communication, maybe not skills, right? It will shape your communication style. That's what I would say, right? And generally your orientation. Absolutely. It's not pride, because some people say this is pride. You should date a bus driver. Don't answer until if bus driver is just something in your brain, it's like bus driver, it makes you feel like like somebody said, but what if she owns the bus driver company? That's not what we're talking about. That's disingenuous. Don't let them Listen to me, okay? If the first time you hear bus driver, it makes your head go like, bus driver, there's a good chance you probably shouldn't be with the bus driver. It's nothing against the bus driver, okay? But there's something to why you feel that way, and it's not necessarily because you have pride. That's what they try to make it sound like. It's not necessarily because it's just in life, in real life, in among human beings, there are classes for whatever reason. Sometimes it's economical, sometimes it's social, sometimes it's just a different word, sometimes it's racial, right? Sometimes it's tribal, right? And we identify what we identify with. It is what it is, right? It is just what it is, right? So it is what it is. It's not pride if you date someone that isn't within your mental wavelength. Okay, at this point now, it's start to sound like pride, but she's absolutely correct. Wavelength doesn't have to be higher. It could just be wavelength. That one is on that side, this one on this side, right? Everybody stay in their own lane, right? It's not always true. We know we will cross those lanes. All we are asking you to do is be aware. You need to be aware that when you cross these lines, there will be extra friction that you will need to learn how to navigate. That's really the lesson here, okay? That's all it is, right? If you cross the line, you go marry a white girl, you're a black person, it's not just because you're attracted to white girl. That's not all of it. If you are in love with your mother and you can die for your mother, her opinion matters. If she feels some type of way and you take it back to your wife, before you know it, this issue is entangling up in multiple different ways that you don't know how to navigate. But if you are aware, at least you can calm down and learn how to actively listen, and then things will work better. There's a higher chance things will work out. But if you're completely arrogant about this and you say, no, I'm just going to cross the line, now that is pride. Now that is pride. When you say, I crossed the line, nothing happened to me. Well, wait now, relax. Right? That one is pride. Now it's not pride when you say, I don't identify with that. I'd rather stay in this lane because we understand each other better, right? We understand each other in this world. We understand that. Listen, I don't want to marry Otedola's daughter because, you know what? I'm in love with Otedola's daughter. However, somebody who have listened long enough will be like, what's the obsession? No, she's just an easy example for me to give. Copy Otedola, right? I'm in love with her, but I understand there's some challenges here that I will have to learn how to navigate. When that time comes, it will come. Okay? If you're somebody who was raised in the middle of Ijoka in Ogun State, in Abeokuta, I don't know, no shade to Abeokuta people in Ogun State, right? If you're one of those people, right, and you fell in love, you kind of stumble into Copy Otedola in Italy, in, what's the name of that place? What's the name of that place where they bought ice cream from the other time, right? And you stumble and you guys are in love right now. So it's all sweet and dandy, right? One day is coming. That line you're crossing, right, is going to show up as a crisis. If your expectation is that it won't show up, it's worse for you. If you know that, yes, this is a real thing, I will need to learn how to navigate when that time comes, then you'll be fine, okay? That's all it is. It's not that you should never, because I never say never, right? But it's about just be aware of these things. And that wavelength thing, that mental wavelength thing is a real thing. And yes, you will lose your mind. If you're caught off guard with that, you will potentially lose your mind. Okay? Let's see here. Somebody's already saying, what of an uneducated billionaire asking for a friend? Wow. Even that one is worse. But you get the gist already. Not entirely true. Ever met an educated illiterate? No, you missed the point. When we say this kind of things, it's everything else being equal, okay? Which everything else is never equal. So the statement is already not absolute, right? There is no manual to these things. There is manual. Anytime somebody says there's no manual to these things, they're literally trying to give you manual. It's a narcissistic behavior. It's arrogance. It's pride. I'm just kidding. But they're literally trying to give you their own manual. There is manual, okay? Anytime somebody, just watch it. Pay attention to what I just said properly. Anytime somebody says there's no manual, they are trying to give you their own manual. Don't be you give me that one. Right? No, 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 no. Somebody said nonsense talk. Her mama no go school. Let's see. I'm not sure. All right. It's true though. If you have dated Olodo before, you will understand. You understand. If you have dated Olodo before, everything is easy to them. Any slightest thing, you have insulted me. Like, there are people like that. Everything's an insult for them. That may be something you want to pay attention to. Okay. Listen, I encourage people to fall in love with who they fall in love with. I just want them to be aware. That's all. That if you cross certain lines, it will come with certain extra additional layer of friction that you need to learn how to navigate. And if you are in denial about that, it will get really badly for you. So I say, LOLs, you want the wine odogu? I agree 100% with Doyin's statement. Honestly, I agree. I agree with her statement. All right. With that being said, I'll be right back. I have a couple of things with the actual title lesson for today for you. All right, so my partner treats me like shit. Oh god. All right, so this thing, I wanted to share this with you, because it was just a message that you know, that kind of came to me from something I was personally going through, and I wanted to find a way to pass this down to you all. And you know, sometimes you find yourself in a situation and you're like, you know, it's a relationship, right? It's not always a romantic relationship, but it's a relationship of some sort. You're in it and you don't really have a choice, at least not at this moment. At least temporarily, it's not like you can run away from it, right? And then you're like, they treat other people better than you, or they don't treat you better, or they don't, you know, or they don't treat you well enough, or you feel like you deserve better, or you feel like you're overqualified, or you're too qualified, or you're, yeah, you know, you feel like you're not getting what you deserve, right? You're not getting the treatment you deserve, right? You will go through this sometimes in romantic relationships, right? A man will treat you like shit. At least that's how you feel. A woman will treat you like shit. At least that's how you feel. Okay? And if you feel that way, it's just as good as real. Okay? Because, hey, feelings are feelings. Okay? So, how do you handle that kind of situation? Right? The easy thing for me to run to this stage and tell you right now is just leave. Well, if you could leave, you would have probably left already, right? So not only is it easier said than done to just ask people to leave, it's also it's unrealistic, right? There's a reason why you're staying. There's some kind of value, okay, or perceived value that you're getting from staying, and that's real, you know. It's not always just children. The easy ones is that, so you just stay because of children. Well, it could be children, but children is almost like the people you want to blame, but you can't blame them. There's a sense of you're protecting the children. There's a sense, there's something you're getting from that personally. Even including when you feel like you're protecting your children, there's something you're getting from that personally. It's not purely selfless. It's not purely a selfless act. Even when on the surface you're like, quote unquote, protecting your children. Okay? There's something that makes you feel, maybe it makes you feel like you're contributing, right? We have the 6 basic needs here. That's part of our foundation that you need to learn. Okay? Maybe it's your way of contributing to other humans' life, starting with your children, right? But the reality is that you're getting something from that, right? So whatever you're getting from it is, with this theory, is, you can usually fall in this certainty Maybe you're sure that there's food on the table tomorrow, so it's kind of hard to leave, right? Maybe they're fun, they make you laugh, but ultimately you guys are always broke and you don't feel secure, you don't feel safe, but somehow they bring laughter to your life, right? It could be that, or variety in other ways, not just fun stuff, right? Or maybe you're staying because status, significance in society, right? But you're getting some kind of value from that, right? And oftentimes when you come to me and tell me that your partner treats you like shit, you're not going to remember to tell me that you're also staying for some of these reasons, right? You're going to focus on how you feel, right? And you are very normal when you do that. You're just a normal human being like the rest of us. You're focused on how you feel. They make you feel like shit, right? But something is still making you stay. So it's going to take me asking you extra questions, fact finding, asking you questions, listening to you more, to unpack that, to find out why you're still you're in that relationship in the first place. What is it that you're looking to get from it, right? So it's going to take us to do the work to identify what that is. Okay, so whatever that basic need is that you're getting, there is a need. There's a void that is being filled by these people, right? But you feel like you're not getting what you deserve, right? So, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. It's if it's a partner, a romantic partner that's treating you like shit, keep in mind that again, there's a value you're getting in this. So it's not just, now the value could be an unhealthy something. It could be toxic in nature, right? Something you're getting is a high for you, but eventually it's just bad for you, right? Right? It's like me tonight. Like earlier on in the evening, my wife made very nice eba and egusi for me, right? And she showed me first. She said, "Is this one enough?" And I almost want to tell her that half of that is enough, right? But it was looking too good, right? And I took the eba and I swallowed the whole thing, right? And after that, I became bloated and a bit too heavy, almost to the point that I was considering postponing this show, but I said, God forbid, right? So, but the point is that sometimes you get a high off of something that you know that eventually it's not going to be helpful for you, right? That's how we end up in some of these relationships sometimes, right? So, again, they're treating you like shit. The point here is that there's something you're doing, right, that's enabling it, okay? This is not shaming you, okay? This is just making you aware that there's something you're doing to encourage and enable that, okay? And you're not necessarily wrong for doing it, because again, your needs are your needs, right? Your needs are your needs. You have a void, it needs to be filled, right? But you need to have a plan, right? You need to have a plan in place. You need to put a plan in place for how you're going to get out of this situation, because it's absolutely unhealthy for you to feel, gentlemen, you too, yes, it's unhealthy for you to keep feeling like your partner, your wife treats you like shit, okay? But you can do something about it, right? So what is the one thing you can do about it? Like, granted, you can't leave right now, right? The one thing you can do about it, if there was only one thing you can do about it, is to increase your own value, okay? Value comes down to value. See, people are not going to maltreat or mistreat anybody that they find valuable, okay? Either in time or over time, okay? It could be either, it could be both, right? If they find value in you, they're not going to sabotage that. Now, in a temporary setting, they might not see value in you because they're overwhelmed by other things going on. Maybe they have their own personal problems. Nonetheless, I still want you to understand that if it's a consistent thing, you need to keep working. Have a plan to increase your own value, okay? So it's the same thing that I tell you when I say self-love, self-respect, self-worth. If you don't have these things, people will mimic that in how they treat you, okay? Shout out to Felicia. What did she say? The pastor seems to be entertaining the congregation. Oh, you're watching from behind. you're watching the previous part of the show. Welcome though. T Mahana, how you doing? Good to see you. She said, "Hey Natu, can't find the number I gave out for." Voila. Tima, just join the. You might want to join the group. Just join the group. Natu is in there. Join the group. But if Natu is listening, you can drop the number for her again. Okay. When did you sign up? Check your spam box. Check your spam box. And as soon as you signed up, you should have access to it. You sign up with a password and a login. If you go to olatalks.com/login, you can log in from there. The same password. Okay, you can log in from there. Let me just put that here right now. Okay, you can log in from there. You can just go to olatalks.com. Actually, you will see the login link at the top in the menu. Let me put that here right now. All right, that's it right there. olatalks.com. That's the login area for the members. All right, so like I was saying, let's see here. So increasing your own value, if it comes down to everything, that's the message I have for you on this message today. My partner treats me like shit. Increase your value. Okay, have a plan to increase your own value. Okay, the way you see yourself is how your partner is going to see you. They might lead with bad behavior, but if they continue to do it on a consistent basis, somehow, some way, not necessarily your fault, you're encouraging it. Okay, you're encouraging it, and you might not realize it. It's something we need to unpack. It's something we need to identify. Something we need to get to, right? Okay, now that's a process. You need to respect process. Temporarily, you might have to be in that state. Again, it's something I went through myself. Okay, temporarily, you have to receive how they treat you. You might also need to pay attention to how they treat you. There might actually be value in it. There might be hidden value in how they are treating you. Of course, it feels like shit because you feel like you deserve better, but there might be hidden value in it, right? You need to identify the hidden value in it, right? Because again, it's that parable of the talent issues, right? Sometimes somebody just give you just one little kobo, and you don't see any value in it, okay? And then you're comparing yourself to the person that got 5 kobo. Right, and then that's a bad idea completely. Okay, because clearly what you have is 1 kobo and you don't see value in it. So it's almost, if you don't see value in 1 kobo, it's impossible for you to see adequate value in 5 kobo. It's basically oju kokoro at that point. You see what I'm saying? You can't see, if you don't see value in the penny, you cannot see value in $1 million. It's not authentic. It's basically covetousness. Okay, you're basically just not content. You're not a content person. If somebody gave you $1 million, you will squander it anyway. Okay, so when you don't see value in the situation you find yourself already, not necessarily value in staying there, but the value from drawing a point A to the point B where you're trying to get to, if you can't see that way, there's a good chance you will stay in that funk. You just be another complainer in these streets. And this is true for every situation. All right, but I'm open. If you have any questions beyond that in the comments later, anything like that, feel free. But we're going to round up the show right now today because it's supposed to be already 7 minutes over time. All right, 2 days ago I have signed up first. I think there was something broken with the emails, but check your spam box. Check your spam box. All right, either way you can log in at olatalks.com. I'll always remind you anyway if you ask me from here. All right, thank you so much everyone. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. This is another fantastic one. If you want to sign up for what she's talking about, just go to loveandprestige.com. You'll be able to download all of my books. You have access to all of my programs, as a matter of fact. So I have programs in obviously relationship stuff, real estate. Okay, if you live in the United States, you're interested in real estate, I have fantastic program back there for you. Digital marketing, if you're a content creator and stuff like that, you're looking for more stuff around there. And then also behind the scenes stuff that I generally can put on this platform here. So just go over there, it's free. Just join as a member. You have access to all of that, and then also you will have a chance to join the gang in helping us push the mission beyond where we are right now. Okay, all right, we good? Are we good? Yes, right here. Free book, plus free course is 30-day bootcamp, smart relationship guide, www.loveandprestige.com. All right. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.